Hello everyone. Mira Kelly here. Hello and welcome. I figure it's been a while since I have been here with you, so I can come on board and we can talk about all the things. Hello, beautiful Sonia. It was so fun because we were just on the line together. I was teaching a class in my program called More Clients Now, and I was thinking earlier, gosh, it's been a while since I have done anything in my past lives group. Let's get on the line and talk all things past life regression. Hi, Andre. Thank you for joining and saying hi. Hello. I wanted to come on the line and share with you something that happened yesterday, the day before. And who better than me than to address this question? But while I'm talking about this question, while I'm talking about all the things, please type in the comments your questions, what you want to know about past lives and past life regression, anything that is important to you and happening with you while I'm riffing on answering this question. So say hello and let me know what's on your mind. So I'm browsing through Facebook posts yesterday or the day before. And this is what Sarah Ann says in one of the groups I'm in. She says, there is a warning at the top. Might be triggering. How fair of her. Okay, how nice and fair of her. Okay, so this is the question. Would love some help and ideas. Here goes nothing. I did a past life regression and found that I had a very traumatic Mongolian past life where my tribe was conquered and I was brutally treated by the men of the other tribe. I feel this was shown to me as I continue to attract abusive relationships in this lifetime. So my question, I have a belief system that men equal death for me. I even have gained weight to stop men from taking advances. I hide myself. I do not feel safe in my femininity, like at all. The only way I can feel safe is to outsmart men or even to be manipulative. As you can see, this causes a lot of chaos in my relationships. How do I fix it? How do I feel safe? How do I rewrite this narrative? Part of me is resistant to saying embracing. Okay, let me say this slower so you understand. Part of me is resistant to saying or embracing the belief that men make me feel safe when I have a very real body fear response to that. Lots of resistance. How do I break that resistance? Is this a call for me to find and embrace inner peace, sovereignty? Do I just stay focused there? I feel that might be a spiritual bypass. My biggest challenge is letting go of that fear. Has anyone worked with these fears successfully? And if so, how? Oh my God, right? Very real world problem. Like very real problem. I will get to your question in a moment, Datha. So please keep your questions coming. I'll come back to them in a moment. So let's go to what this woman was saying, Sarah Ann. You can totally feel her confusion and her frustration. So my initial reaction when, hi Martha, I'm so happy to see you on the line with us. So my initial reaction when I saw this post was to roll my eyes and get really angry, okay? I got really angry because I was like, I don't ever talk about this, but the people who do past life regressions have a tremendous responsibility of the psyche of the person in their hands. You cannot just guide a person through a past life regression and kind of like guide them a little bit there and then leave them in the mud, if you will, halfway through the journey and kind of let them hang there, right? I was so upset. I was like, honey, whoever you did that past life regression with, if it was a recording, it's a different story, because with the recording, you're not working with a person. But if you're working with a person, never go back to that person ever again, because this is not just about us using now I'm getting on my pedestal. And if anybody has the right to criticize my industry and to tell people you got to shape up here, it's me, okay? Because I certify people, I teach people how to do this work. I've done this work longer than most people who do this work today. So if anybody has the big mouth to say, hey, we got to bring some ethics and responsibility here, it should be me. So if this was a person that Sarah Ann worked with, my advice is please tell them that they have more work to do, because this is not just about using the past life regression tool to show you what the root cause of the problem is. We gotta also use the tool to bring the person to the solution. You see, when people work with me, they will never ever walk away and say, well, there goes nothing. I have never had a client who says, well, there goes nothing. Ever! Never ever. The thing that I hear immediately right after a session most often is, I feel freer. I feel lighter. The reason why people say they feel that way is because I use the tool of past life regression in order to unlock their psyche, in order to guide them, in order to help find the solution. So did you hear in Sarah Ann's words how, I'm gonna come back to this. She's saying, I know I'm supposed to say that men make me feel safe, but I cannot do this. I feel tremendous resistance to this because I have a very real body fear response to that. Lots of resistance. How do I break this resistance? Is this a call for me to find and embrace my inner power? So basically, the past life regression was done for her to see the same pattern. And I agree with her. There goes nothing, because all of a sudden, it's not a solution. All of a sudden, it's like a reinforcement of the problem. Yeah, that's my soul's unfortunate journey. That's how I've been through many lifetimes. That's how I have worked, that's where my soul is. Men treat me like shit. Men are not safe. I am not safe. I need to gain weight. I need to outsmart and manipulate men just so that they don't rape me and kill me, right? What was it? Men mean death, right? So okay, now you understand. I really got angry because the way I use past life regression is not only to show the person where the root cause of the problem is, but then we're gonna solve the problem. If Sarah Ann had actually worked with me, I would have guided her through lifetimes where we solved the problem of her relationship with man. I want you to hear this very clearly, my loves, if any of you are practitioners. And if any of you are clients, please choose your practitioners very carefully, because you don't want to be Sarah Ann where you go, well, what was that about? Now I have even more of a heaviness in my hands rather than a solution. And how do I figure this one out? If she had worked with me, I would have guided her to a lifetimes where she actually gets to experience safety, what viscerally it feels to be in a safe, loving relationship with men. where she gets to experience lifetimes where men took care of her, where people provided for her, where it was safe to be in the world, where she wasn't going to be surprised out of nowhere. Because you see, it's quite unfair for us to think, and wrong, not just unfair, and wrong, for us to think, well, there's only that one lifetime. Because you see, time is simultaneous. Sarah Ann, you and I, but in particular her case, she had had lifetimes where she had actually experienced ease and comfort and strength and support and love and safety in her relationships with men. Is that making sense? Whether it's in the future, whether it's in a parallel now lifetime, whether it's in a past life. But you also got to understand something else. This is what will blow the minds of some of you. It's not just that she experienced a past life. Please hear me out. She experienced a version of that past life that actually, a version of that past life that is actually a version of what could have potentially happened. So here's what I mean. When we're going on this exploration journey through regression, we're always resonantly connected to versions of past lives that speak to where we are. But remember, the past is happening right now, just like all versions of the future are available to you right now. All versions of the past are available to you right now. Now think about that, right? Past life regression is a very quantum jumping through dimensions process. So it's not a linear, let me take you to the root cause of the problem. It's let me use time to actually mold your psyche to get you to the outcome and to your highest good in the moment. If you heard that one, my love, you operate on a level where you're ready to be my client. I'm not joking. I do not see the world as a linear flat line. I see the world as a multidimensional experience where I am going to mold your psyche to experience, to jump, to connect, to identify. You're actually going to grow bigger in your awareness of your soul, of your multidimensional reality, of your ability to connect with different layers and levels when you actually work with me. And so if I was working with Sarah Ann, I would have actually taken her to lifetimes, to experiences where she would have been like, I viscerally know that it's safe to trust men. Are there bad apples? Of course, but there are bad women out there too. This is not about men, right? Guys, I love you. This is not about you personally. I'm not trying to badmouth you in any way. This is about understanding how to use the process of regression. So this is really about being an alchemist who is playing with time in order to move through multidimensional tapestry, because nothing is linear in reality. Nothing is a one-sided track of development. And so our goal would have been for her not to say, how do I solve this? I feel so much resistance. I would have solved this problem with her right there in the moment. And she would have been like, oh, men are souls. Men are souls. I have been a man so many times. I have been a woman so many times. Somebody violating somebody else is coming from a place of wanting connection but not knowing they can get what they want. Violation is actually powerlessness. So what she was speaking of, awakening her inner power, is really her awareness of there's greater levels to me mastering energy and manifestation so I can get what I want. You see, because everything we experience is reflected in the outside world. So there is a part of Sarah Ann who is also in a place of powerlessness, and she's recognizing that. That's why the extra weight being put on. And she's recognizing that there are places in her life where she's not in full integrity and ownership of her power to actually get what she wants smoothly and effortlessly. That's why her soul was involved in this multi-layered, multi-parallel life process learning, because she's learning power and love. She's learning getting her needs met without violating others or others violating her. Nothing wrong with this. We have all learned different lessons through different lifetimes. And so now she saw what it feels like in one lifetime to be violated. I guarantee you she has also had a lifetime where she had violated others in order to experience her, another point of view of her problem, right? So this is not about us using past life regression so she can walk away and say, I'm always the victim. I'm always the victim. And it's a very real fear I feel about my own safety and survival. So the best thing I know is to put on extra weight, right? To her, this is a very real problem. And I honor that. And I appreciate the struggle and the challenge that she's going through. And so I'm here to tell you that the learning that she's working through is her own power and her own awareness of, oh, you're ready to hear this? The greatest power requires the lightest touch. The greatest power always requires the lightest touch. Because when we hurt others, we are doing it because we don't believe we can get what we want. So we are thinking forcing and violating is a way of getting what we want. But that means that I don't trust my power. I don't believe I can get what I want. So not only if I had worked with her, I would have guided her to a lifetime where she experiences safety with men, with her tribe in this world, but also I would have guided her to a lifetime where she owned her power, where she, you see, the guidance that I do of people, the way I guide them through different lifetimes is not just, oh, let's see what else. I literally have a structure of what will shift your psyche, of what I need to hit in your psyche as keynotes to awaken you to your truest, greatest, most powerful self, right? So I would have very intentionally guided her to a lifetime where she experiences herself being powerful, but not just powerful where I'm the leader of an army where I go and kill and violate others and take from others, but power that builds. Now that is a whole another kind of power, because it's very easy to use power to destroy. You destroy in 3 seconds, but when you honestly, to the core of your abilities and being, own power, then you build. That's real leadership. That's real power. That's self-leadership, where you own your power. And not only do you own your power, but you actually know how to awaken the leaders of those around you. And what she's saying is, a woman in this life, I'm scared of men. What she's saying is, I control men through manipulation because I don't know how to awaken the natural leader within man, the natural provider and protector who then takes care of me. Oh, honey, this is me saying honey to Sarah Ann. I am here to tell you that men are the most gloriously honorable, extraordinary beings on this planet. Literally, we should all be raising men and celebrating men and trusting men and leaning into their power. Because when you look into a man's eyes, when you see his power, when you see him as, this is a man who is here to do his best, you bring the best out of him. right? And when you treat him as somebody who you gotta outsmart, who's gonna hurt you, you bring the worst out of him. That's what I mean by personal leadership. You know how to play the game. Of course, I'm talking about manipulation, but do you see how the manipulation of energy is done in the best possible way for all of us? Sarah Ann is speaking about manipulation of men, where it's about control and mistrust. And I'm speaking about playing a game which is based on love and appreciation and trust. Because you know what? We are all people. We all do stupid, stupid things, including men, including women. I have been known to do stupid things in relationships. I bet you have done stupid things in relationships too. Undoubtedly. But here's what I also know. It's not about me trusting you and you betraying my trust, because I already know that we do stupid things, not because we're bad people, but because, we don't always get to rise to the occasion, right? We don't always get to be at our most glorious and smartest and bestest, right? To use that word. We lose focus, we lose attention, we have a case of not enoughness. I came up with that one yesterday as I was teaching, and I laughed at it so much that I had to say it again today, right? Where like today I suffer from a severe self-doubt. I'm having a case of not enoughness. So we all have our moments, we all flaunter, right? That's why when we're in love, the first 3 months are so emotionally and chemically extraordinary, because we're focused on the other person. They're the most powerful thing for us. We give them our full love and attention. And then we have a boo-boo. We feel scared. We have troubles and worries of our own, right? Life happens. And so it's not about me saying I cannot trust men. It's not about me saying I cannot trust women. I cannot trust the world. I cannot trust this other tribe. It's not about any of it. You ready to hear the truth? It's about you trusting you. That's it. You can lead you. You own your own power. No matter what happens, and things will happen, you lead you. Now that's the truth. Because here's how this game works. Hi Charles, I'm so happy to see you. I set my own leadership towards myself. I set my own vision. I set my own intentions. I can work with my emotional self, my own moments of fear and doubt. I can work my magic and put out, right? I can work with myself. I can put out my intentions. I can deal with myself when I have my own cases of extreme worry and fear. I have the work. The other half, the work, is the universe, because the universe always delivers to me that which I put out. So I always get that which I put out. So the only thing I need to trust is trust myself. I got to trust myself that what I put out is what I'll get back. Do you see how this is not all of a sudden about trusting men or women or the government or life or anything? This is about you trusting you and owning your power. So, this is all that we would have collapsed as an experience for Sarah and if she had reached out to me. So let me catch up on comments. Please ask anything that has to do with what I mentioned or past life regression in general. And I will answer those comments or questions. So Data is saying, hi, if I would like to know what was my relation with my wife in my past life. Oh, this is very easy. So as you do a past life regression, just simply give yourself the direction that you will explore a past life to understand the relationship with your wife and to understand the challenge, because no relationship is just smooth sailing. We all have our ups of challenges, no, ups of heavy times and downs of challenges. So look into understanding the challenges and also ask for the answers of how to handle those challenges. Because always our closest people, always, our closest people, we have what I'm going to use the word of karmic relationships. But I don't mean karmic relationships in terms of we need to suffer and we need to struggle in this relationship. I mean, we've been around together. We've known each other. We're here to keep building and playing and creating. Your closest relationships are always people you have reincarnated with in other lifetimes. So please use regression that way. Soumya is saying, well, that changes so many things and gives a very comforting perspective about all of life. Yes, it really does. Hi, Letitia. I think you emailed me, if I remember right. So if you did, I think I saw that I got to respond back to you. Any insight on twin flames, please? And the term is overused. I feel, and I was wondering what twin souls share that other souls types connections do not. So here's what I want to share with you. Because I'm somebody who is very sensitive to energy. I have my own level of connection with other people. I have had many instances where I see someone and I say, there goes somebody I've been connected in other lifetimes with. And so I wouldn't say that some relationships, So we call those soulmate connections, where I see them and I'm like, I recognize this person. There she goes. Here we are. Okay, we get to play again. I think when we talk about twin flame relationships, we speak about those relationships who trigger us and challenge us in the biggest possible way. And the reason why I started laughing is because I was thinking of a friend of mine who is older than me. She's in her 70s. And I remember when she said to me the very first time when we spoke about twin flame relationships, she was like, when somebody comes and when you recognize them as a romantic partner, as a twin flame relationship, run. She was like, don't walk away, run away as fast as you can. Nothing good is gonna come out of it. Well, I think some good definitely comes out of it, but those are super intensely challenging, triggering relationships who will bring you to emotional mastery and to greater growth in your soul. But I'm yet to see a twin flame relationship where the people stay together. So here's my advice, my love. Here's my advice, Letitia. If that twin flame relationship breaks down, which it will, I guarantee you it will, don't try to put it back together. Don't try to get the guy back. Don't try to get the girl back. Don't. Take your lesson, count your blessings that it's over, and walk away. Walk away! There are people with whom you can learn faster and easier. Not necessarily faster, but easier. I hope that was helpful. I should probably do a whole live on twin flame relationships so I can give you stories and tell you stories. More info and simultaneous time and parallel realities. Thank you, Shia. Thank you, Team Mira Kelly. Thank you, Sean. I so appreciate you. Oh, yes. Thank you for pinning the comment that people can ask questions. Okay, let me answer this one. Charles is asking, is it possible to find out how many relationships you've had in your past lives? Do you mean with the same person? So, sure, just go for it. Dive into your past life regression, and you'll always be taken to the most relevant experience, which will show you which will show you the relationships you've had. So definitely. Now, are you gonna see all of them at one time? I don't think so. I doubt it. Will there always be more? I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And at a certain point, you'll say, I don't even need to know. Right? Let's just live the present life. Because at a certain point, you'll be like, I get the relationship. I've done regressions. I know where we've been together. So it's really okay for me to, not keep exploring because I know enough about us. And then something will happen and you'll be like, oh my God, I gotta fix this problem we have between us. And then you'll do another regression. So here's this question. What can you advise for people who are scared to get a regression? Oh, this is such a good question. Thank you for asking it. So the answer is there's really nothing scary. The process is very similar to meditation. You're not going anywhere. You will come back because you're not going anywhere. You cannot get stuck in a past life, not even possible. Just like you cannot get stuck in a memory, or you don't get stuck in dreams, right? You just wake up in the morning. You have a memory of something that happened and you then come back to the present moment. So I know that sometimes when people say I'm afraid of doing a past life regression, they're also saying, people are saying, I'm afraid of seeing something terrible. I'm afraid of all these things that could come up and I don't want to be triggered any further. Well, if that's the fear that you have, I want to tell you a story of a woman I did a past life regression with. So this was a workshop I did in Washington, D.C. And she came to the workshop and she expressed this very same fear. She raised her hand and she said, I'm scared. I'm here, but I'm scared. I don't want to see something that will scare me even further. And I said to her, well, just ask that you have a pleasant life experience then, because those could be just as transformative, just as meaningful, just as powerful. And so she didn't say much, right? I don't even know if she gave me any feedback during the workshop or afterwards. I don't remember. But what I remember is that a year later, I was doing a retreat in Hawaii, a week-long retreat in Hawaii. And she came and she was like, do you remember me? And she was like, that regression changed my life. So she experienced herself being a bird. And she was just soaring throughout the entire time. She was flying, she was feeling free. That's all she experienced. And that feeling of feeling free was so impactful for her that she actually quit her job, got a new job, left her old relationship, got into a new relationship, and there was a third thing. I forget what the third thing was, but it was again something very significant, very significant. And she was like, oh, and this is my boyfriend. He was there with us in Hawaii. And so I'm here to tell you that if you feel the fear of doing a past life regression, all you gotta do is just say to yourself, first of all, this is a form of meditation, nothing scary about it. And if you're actually concerned about seeing something that is unpleasant and uncomfortable, just ask for a happy life that is transformative, happy experience that is transformative. That will do the trick. Hi, Evelina. Oh my God. Hi, Evie. Okay, let's see. Oh, hi, Letitia. Thank you, Mira. Very helpful. I did indeed send you an email, so I remember it right. Thank you. And you replied back. We'll reply again in a couple of days. Thank you, thank you. Big love and big hugs to you too. Okay, can you share one memorable story with a client during a regression? My love, Sean, you need to be my interviewer. We need to do this more often, you and I. You're excellent at these questions. Okay, let's ask a question let's think of a memorable story. Okay, let me think. They're all memorable? Yesterday, for me, it's always the easiest to tell you what happened yesterday because I do so many regressions with people. So, yesterday, I worked with a client, with a man who is an older gentleman and who has had his share of social challenges, being with people, connecting with people. He's the scholarly type where he can be truly happy just sitting there thinking about things, reading things, writing things, studying things. And I understand that because that's me too. I'm a bookworm. If you leave me, I will be right there with my books, nerding and being so geeking out with my books and just being the happiest. And so him and I worked on this challenge because, you know, as you can imagine, during the pandemic, life gets even lonelier. And so he experienced a moment where he was with his soul group as his soul was being created. He was with his soul group. And in the moment of his soul being created, he recognized, as he was experiencing all of this, he recognized that the separation of from his soul group really created a sense of lack of connection, mistrust in life taking care of him, his spirit guides not taking care of him, the divine not taking care of him. So as he was revisiting this moment, he actually saw it through a very different perspective, and he recognized that he actually is infinitely loved. How this actually is not even a separation, but the separation is an experience, yet the one knowing itself as separate, but still knowing itself as the one, if that makes sense to you. So it was a deeply connective moment for him to say, oh, I've never been abandoned. I was never isolated. I was never pulled out of the group. It was really just an interpretation. But the truth of the matter is, I'm deeply connected. I'm always part of. I'm always taken care of. It was really a very emotional moment for him. So I recommended for him a tool for him to keep using to intentionally create very intentional closeness in his relationships, and to work on his relationships, because by now it's a habit for him to isolate. And so I told him how to go about changing this. So it was so interesting how there was such a speed. I've been noticing this, you guys. I gotta share this with you because I feel like over the past month, but especially the last couple of weeks, there has been a tremendous speeding up of my work. So say we schedule, I don't know, a longer period of time, and yet I'm able to shift people so quickly that in a much shorter amount of time, we get there. And of course, obviously, this is an outgrowth of me constantly playing with time and working on myself and doing the work and seeing the shortcuts and all of that, right? So it was really fun how this turned out to be a much shorter experience, but he came out of it and he was like, this is the most powerful yet experience I've had with you. Him and I have been working over the years consistently together. And so it was mind-blowingly profound and healing and organizing, because you remember earlier as I spoke about Sarah Ann's question, separation, fear, hurting one another is a separation energy, right? It's a segregation energy. It's parting energy. Love and oneness, being brought back into who you are, is a connective energy, healing energy, loving energy, right? You're coming back to the one. And so this is a story I can think of from yesterday that was really very, very healing for him on an emotional level. So I'm excited for him to have more friends and feel that he's connected to people. So I'm gonna get going, but we gotta do this again. So I want to say two things. Let's do this again tomorrow. So I'm teaching more clients now tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I'm going to be done by 11:30. So let's make another appointment. Let's make an appointment to be together again here at 11:30 to keep talking about past life regression, because this is fun. So much fun for me, and for you to be on the line for this long with me and stay. I appreciate you and I love you. So let's do this again. So tomorrow, come back with questions, any thoughts, anything you want to share. And maybe tomorrow I'll be talking about karma. Let's talk about karma or soulmate twin relationships. We'll see what comes through with your questions. And the other thing I want to tell you is to take advantage of my work, especially now. Obviously, I'll never stop saying take advantage of my work, because my work is truly miraculous. But right now, I have a special, I'm running a sale where for the price of one, you get 2 past life regressions. Take advantage of this one, you guys. Every year I say it's going to be the last time, and I have a feeling this is really going to be the last time, because I'm moving more towards teaching classes, and it's a tremendous joy for me to teach classes. So I really have a feeling this might be the last time I run this sale. So take advantage of it if you've thought about working with me. Now is really the time to jump in. So here's what you want to do. Either email me info@mirakelly for prices, scheduling, all of that, or DM me here in the private messages so I can give you all the info. And it's super simple. You buy one session, you get 2, so you can use the 2 of them. You can give the second one to your significant other, to your child, to your best friend. And it's really very simple. There's only one rule. You gotta use the session within a year. That's it. That's super simple. Yes, thank you, Sean, for posting the email, info@mirakelly.com. Maria, thank you for being with me. Rob, hello. Rob and I have worked together. So if, Rob, you have any comments and any stories you want to share, I would be so grateful from personal experience for you to share. So let's see. I think this pretty much covers it all. I'll see you tomorrow at 11:30 Pacific time in the morning. Bye for now. Bye, guys.